I broke my tire. The tire is broken. Oh, that doesn't look good. So right from the jump, what went wrong? Well, this axle is at least 43 years old. It's held in by a retaining plate, which you can see here is bolted with the 4 bolts. Then there's a bearing, and then on the inside, there's another retainer that's pressed on. It's also commonly known as a wedding ring. There is no C-clip on the inside, just to get that out the way right now. As the axle ages and bearings are changed, the overall diameter of this thing just, I guess, diminishes, and it loses that grip, and, well, we have a walking axle. It simply slipped out of the inner retainer, and it pieced out. When that happened, the bearing and everything else blew up, and fortunately for me, I was able to pull over really quickly to the side of the road, and I pulled hard right to keep the axle from completely falling out of the tube, which I think made this whole thing a lot better considering the situation, because the truck didn't drop on the ground. You know, it was always on its wheels, so, albeit one wheel was a lot further out, but it was on its wheels. So, alright, that being said, let's get to it. First thing I did was hop online and order the cheapest pair of axles I can find, and after those showed up super late and wrong, I decided to pony up and spend double the amount on better axles. Well, I'm glad I took this apart because, luckily my center section is good. All my gears are good. Nothing got chewed up, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There's these very fine pieces. You can kind of see it right here. Those are just little pieces of metal that blew up. And then, you can see right there, there's a piece floating. You can clearly see it. Anything big that blew up didn't find its way into the center because it would still need to be smaller than the opening in the bearing. But if you look at this side, it damn sure came close. Pardon me. If you look, this is the adjustment ring and this is the retainer, and it got smacked a little bit to the side, so it kind of turned a bit. Fortunate for me, I think I can just knock this back in place and I'll make it centered. And I think wherever this lands, I should be good. Right now, what I gotta do is get this thing drained completely and clean it up. We've got us some bearing pieces. So yeah, I'm actually really fortunate. I'm gonna thoroughly inspect the gears again just to be sure, but I think this is a matter of luck more than anything else. I can already hear it. You're asking, why didn't I just buy the gasket? Because I'm dumb. Thankfully, I always keep a sheet of this stuff around. I have like 5 or 6 different sheets of gasket making material that are always in my shop. No excuse. Yeah, I'm just dumb. Watch me make one. I let these things sit overnight so that I knew they were 100% dry, and then gave them a once over again just to be sure. Alright, let's put it together. fit. You and your mother. Before you yell at me and say that I'm doing this wrong by not installing it with the axles and with the center complete, just know it's heavy. I ain't 20 anymore. I'm a little dude. It's hot in this little tiny garage that I can't believe I built this truck in. I'm in a bad mood, so this is the way I decided to do it. And now you're probably all like, wait a minute, bro, don't you have like an engine crane? Yeah, I do, but I also have a 22-foot long hot rod plane car contraption in my shop that's blocking it. So here we are. All right, that's a good thing. All right, so now it's time to put the axles in. This is where the next part of my genius slash sketchy slash dumb idea comes into play. I'm gonna lower the truck on a pair of jack stands that are on a pair of dollies, and I'm just gonna push the truck, over to the side so I can squeeze the axles in. I think it's worth noting here, if it isn't obvious, that holding up the truck on jack stands that are on dollies is probably not the safest practice, but right now I'm going to be just installing the brakes and the axles, and I have no intention on going underneath this truck just like that. Right, so time to put the spacer on, and instantly, problem. No big deal though, but these are the wheel studs on the new axles, and they stick out a bit. And what will happen is, if we just install the wheel like this, we're going to have this gap. Eventually this thing's going to wobble, it's going to walk, and it's going to be another bad video. Couple things worth noting. Cutting wheel studs, not all that uncommon. I ordered the shortest length available, and they were still too long. So I just put the lug nuts on, cut them down to size with my grinder, popped on a flappy disc to soften up all the edges, and then backed up the wheel nuts to help act as a little chase for the threads. Works every time, just take your time. Alright, well, tires are all cleaned up, got all the grease off them. They do look spiffy. Let's get this thing back together, man. Nice! Well, at least it's over. About $1,000 down the drain and a couple car shows missed, but whatever. Truck's back on the road, and I'm gonna be nice and gentle with her.